Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, in the past, present, future, wherever and whenever you are. Welcome to another scene of the Living World of Darkness Changeling 20th venue. Our scene opens outside of Maxine's apartment as Charles is currently taking out the trash. He's got a very impassive face, but he knows exactly what's in there. They've spent the last who knows how long trying to scrape out the bits of melted aluminum into the pan, and the gross smell of the mock turducken that had been built upon at least 2 nights ago. So Charles has the bag and is feeling a moment of sadistic triumph as he just almost slam dunks it right into the trash can outside and closes it and knows that at least tomorrow they'll never have to see it ever again. but he pauses for a moment as he's on the streets and he's looking around, and he's a moment before he looks back at his hand and the sensation of just eternity in his cellular structure of this mortal frame that he's in. And he thinks for a moment. A smile crosses his face, then he turns around and goes right back into whatever Maxine is doing inside.
Maxine is attempting to save her baking dish that she cooked, the abomination that was the faux turducken. Large rubber gloves that go up to her elbows. She just chisels away at it with a knife, and that's not doing anything. So she's just as much elbow grease as she can muster. I just don't know where it went wrong.
Well, if you want my very honest opinion, probably the conception of the idea.
No, that can't be it. Turducken is a very popular dish somewhere.
You're right. Maybe it was the aluminum. Obviously, it's not doing well for that dish there.
I think it's a loss.
Well, that's a shame.
She just... and she just kind of pushes it off to the side.
Well, sounds like we'll have to go out later for some baking dishes for your next experiments.
Yes, and possibly some fitted sheets. My previous bed was much larger than our current bunk bed situation. I feel really bad about suggesting you sleep on a empty mattress.
Well, we probably will have some time to do some shopping later, as he says, and he peeks back into the half-open bedroom door where the new bunk beds have been set up, courtesy of Minerva. It looks like a very sturdy structure. He sort of nods approvingly at it. I will say, while I did not mind in the slightest being on your couch, I do look forward to the fact that my back won't be screaming at me when I get up.
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have gotten an air mattress or something.
Oh. No, by all means. You provided what you had for me to stay on, and I am most gracious for it. But now things are looking even better. Speaking about things even better, I think I should return the favor you have granted me.
Oh, you plan on making me immortal?
Well, not immortal, no. Although, if you wanted, I'm sure I could try that, but it would be it'd be a little complicated.
She holds up a gloved hand, like, "Oh, no, I don't want to live forever."
Well, I figured, given your certain activities going on, along with your mention of needing practice, I figured perhaps I could use a little bit of practice as well. I haven't really had much of an opportunity that time in the restaurant, be able to exert a bit of myself and my views on the world. But I figured, well, it's very easy to do, make someone a klutz, so to speak. Building someone up to something more is often just as entertaining and fun. So I figured, Maxine, I'd make you beguiling.
Oh, um, and my I mean, I do have, I thought, my own sort of charm, but beguiling?
Well, you have your charm, of course, but I figure we might as well see how far we can push those limits. After all, your charm, as he says, and there's a very, he gives a slight glance in the direction of Coney Island.
Yeah.
But I figure what needs to be done is maybe a clearer message, and maybe give people the opportunity to give you a little bit more respect that you deserve, so to speak. Maybe in another avenue. Because, dear Biffle, I have this feeling that not many people should listen to you as well as they should. And I would love nothing more than to have them hear your words.
Oh, well, I mean, it would be very rude of me to use you as a practice dummy and not return the favor. So I guess I'm your dummy.
Now, if you wanted to be a dummy, I could do that, but I much rather stick with beguiling.
Yeah. I mean, you should really push the envelope, I guess, if you want to get better.
Of course. Come with me, please, he says as he heads towards the bathroom.
She seems a little concerned, but follows, and while removing the dishwashing gloves.
Mm-hmm. And they get there, and I mean, it's still a very small bathroom, all things considering. It's probably, well, they can stand there somewhat comfortably side by side as he, please look in the mirror. Now, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you repeat this phrase. Just look at yourself in the mirror and say this phrase. I am charming. I am coy. I am beguiling. Oh boy.
I am charming. I am coy. I am beguiling. Oh boy.
Your tone's very inconsistent there, so how about we try and get it a little more, shall we say, even in tone and consistency. Try it again.
I am charming. I am coy. I am beguiling. Oh boy.
Now that's monotone. We don't want monotone. We want a consistency, but we need it to be intriguing enough that we want to catch someone's attention. Again.
I am charming. I am coy. I am beguiling. Oh boy.
Now that head wobble of yours is, I'm certain, has some manner of relaxation for you, but that's going to come off as a little awkward to people. We don't want you to be a bobblehead doll or anything along those lines. So try, when you're doing that, try a nice little tilt. Give a sort of air of like, not necessarily you're looking at them from the side, but just a sort of air of detachment, so to speak. Do it again.
I am charming. I am coy. I am beguiling. Oh boy.
We're getting closer. We're going to need to pump that emotion up a bit again. And this proceeds for the next half hour. as literally he keeps commenting and twisting, not necessarily touching her, but like commenting and tweaking and saying, it's like, no, we need that again. The last time was better. Do it again, over and over again, which is probably just absolutely frustrating for Maxine here going through this. But now I am rolling my naming dice. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I almost had 5, but the one took that out. But I have 4, so it's 1 month.
Hey.
So the final time, as the magic works. And I'll mark disclaimer. Lost later.
I am coy. I am beguiling. Oh boy. I don't know how to describe that.
Well, it's just an change of air and demeanor, and suddenly just the world seems to just decide, you know what? She is beguiling. So we're just going to enforce that a bit. People will see her as beguiling, and she will indeed be beguiling.
She looks in the mirror as she says that the last time and sort of feels the universe rearrange around her a bit, adjusting her confidence level a bit and her worldview just a bit. She doesn't speak right away, instead just kind of looks at herself in the mirror. And then kind of looks at Charles' reflection in the mirror. Leans back and turns to her friend. I think a lot of things are starting to make sense to me. Your words. This charming narrative you've chosen for me. I think I finally understand something about us.
Raises an eyebrow.
I think I know why you wanted me as a friend and why you agreed to bind yourself to a lowly nobody like me so viscerally. Now, you may say it was because of some slight by Sir Carol, but we both know. Like, you don't need anyone to help you bring him to his knees. You don't like physical violence. So why a gunslinger? You have power in your words. So why drag yourself down by somebody whose words are ignored? No, my friend. Like you said, the game is complicated, so there has to be another reason behind this. And she gives him a smile, a slow blink. I think I remind you of something. Something wild and unpredictable. Kind or cruel, with no consideration but my own whims. My words flow freely and meanings change from moment to moment, even in the bargains I make. I can give you life eternal, dear friend. And I know why you want to see me cry. I remind you of the one who abandoned you, who let you get away. To you, Cararis, I am part of Arcadia, and I'm bound so I won't let you go again. And she steps a little closer to him and says in kind of a hoarse whisper, "Don't worry, my dear sweet friend. I don't plan on letting you go."
It's hard to perceive if there's a change in his emotion. But there is a light in his eyes of just some kind of level of excitement here. This has gone in a direction he wasn't expecting, but so interesting, so fascinating. This, looks like there was something more underneath the layers of this hair than he anticipated. Whatever he did here with this beguilement may have just unlocked something quite useful. And he just smiles. He goes, "Well, my dear friend, that is a very, very, very fascinating theory you have there. I can't say whether all of it is correct, but you are certainly starting to read between the lines."
Well, if you go over the same notes over and over again, you start to see a clearer picture. She gives him a wink. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go get dressed for the day. I suddenly feel underwhelming in this. She kind of just saunters, and she's not much of a sauntering person.
He watches her go, and he's just like, "Oh, this is going to be fun." He can already start imagining the people who know her finding this new and improved Maxine, and just how that's going to affect the community pool, so to speak. How is this new improved Maxine going to send ripples across the community? Ooh, this is going to be far more fun than he anticipated.
Do you want to continue on with the scene, or?
It's up to you. I can keep going.
Okay. Maxine will retreat to the bedroom, and a moment later she comes out wearing nicer clothes, not the usual Maxine, like, look at me kind of thing, but like a proper dress that not too long, not too short, a little shrug to keep her arms warm because it is January in New York. And for the first time in probably ever that you've seen, heels that aren't boots.
Charles didn't even know she had those. So it's
Nobody knew she had those. Maybe Hall and Misha, because I think Hall tried them on. So, and she sits at the table, crosses her legs.
So then, where to? Since I believe we have some dishes to replace.
Well, Bed Bath & Beyond seems a little tiresome.
Looking for a specialty store, then. I'm sure there's plenty. Although the best ones are in Manhattan.
Ah, your old stomping grounds. Well, I suppose broad daylight's as safe a time to go as any.
Then I would be most delighted to be your guide into the wilds of Manhattan.
She offers the crook of her arm.
And he takes it. The Uber should be here in 5 minutes. And sure enough, the Uber comes along, and they're taken out, and Charles has already put in a particular specialty store for them to go to, and it's very much, this is the kind of place where like high-end restaurants go to buy their products. So this is like mostly top of the line things, and you don't usually buy just single things. You're buying sets of stuff. So nothing of this is going to be cheap one way or another.
She like peruses, and she finally like stops in front of like glassware kind of reminiscent of the odd plate she had that she broke a few months ago. It was back then it was just one piece that she had found in a like a thrift store or something. But now there's a set of these kind of chunky glass with gold trim.
It's not long before like a store attendant comes up. Hello, miss. Is there anything I can help you find today?
Oh, well, I think I may have found exactly what I'm looking for, but I certainly could use somebody with big, strong arms to help me just pack it all up and, well, get it on out of here.
Well, I certainly can find someone to be able to do that for you. Yes. So, what were you thinking of in particular?
This set, and she indicates the
Mhm.
the glasses and plates. And does this set come with those wine glasses up there?
Yes, they do.
Excellent. Then I'd like the basic setting for four sort of situation. I'm not stocking a diner or anything like that, so
Fair enough. We can do settings for 4. Anything else?
yes, I think. I mean, it looks very expensive. Tell me, do you have an employee discount that you could maybe slide me under the table there?
Oh boy, I think we're gonna have some manipulation rolls here.
Let's see.
I'm still looking at that roll. I'm like, wow. If it weren't for that one, Maxine would be like this for a whole year.
Well, there's always Kronos.
There's always Kronos. If Maxine decides she likes this, she can extend it for however long she wants.
That's right.
Or until Charles decides it's time for it to stop.
Okay,
but right now, he's having too much fun about this. So
let's see. So manipulation,
subterfuge, I still think, because I mean, you are manipulating someone's. You're trying to entice them into something that's yeah. So a little underhanded, but I'm sure that's well within your power. Oh,
See,
that didn't work.
I know, it's annoying me.
Yeah.
Why did we decide to capitalize crap?
Because stuff.
Try again.
Well, that is 3 successes. So it's a little bit of talking back and forth. It's like, well, I mean, kind of getting a little hot under the collar for a moment and stuff like that. I was like, well, I guess I could make an exception this one time. So he'll go ahead and make sure that whatever other purchases you make, they'll all be on the employee discount. So
thank you, Pookie.
Charles is just watching this going on and is just like beaming because this is precious. This whole thing, just watching once again, further proof that words are powerful and they can change people themselves. Just watching he's just watching like an art piece walking around. His brand label has been put upon this and he's just watching it go.
Maxine's going to start moving to like the bedding area. Let's find something comfortable, shall we?
Nope. And Charles follows along as they're looking over mattresses and stuff.
Well, They have the beds came with mattresses. They need
Oh, the
like
sheetings and sheets and stuff. It's like
padding and yes.
Get those thread counts going. Egyptian cotton.
I don't know. Cotton's so stereotypical for hares and rabbits and the like. I'm thinking she picks up some satin sheets. Red satin. Something to slide around on.
Well, just as long as you don't slip off the top bunk, I think that's something well within reason.
Why, my dear, cherished friend, that would be something a clumsy oaf would do.
Of course. How silly of me to have thought otherwise.
And she, like, looking at the satin, like, kind of opening the package a little bit to see, like, the quality of it. She doesn't want, garbage sheets.
Right. She wants quality.
Yes. She finally decides on, like, a really deep red satin sheet set. And what about you? Cotton, was it?
No, I think I'll have what you're having.
Excellent. And she picks out a matching set. It'll keep the decor consistent.
And besides, he says as he's looking at these crimson red sheets, red is my favorite color.
Cheeky, he says. And like carries the basket with the blankets, picturing a hand basket because they'd have to put the dishes up at the front to wait for them. Can you think of anything else we need?
For a moment, as he's going on, he's almost lost in thought for a moment with this little thing. It's like remembering again those moments where he'd command his servant to carry his words as a message, and having his power even through the messenger, his essence and power carried and shaping the landscape around him without having to even leave his castle. As he looks around the place, and he can almost picture it, this place. Red, his favorite color, just smears of it on the wall from burst arteries, catching onto the white curtains as they drift lazily in the breeze, soaking into the bed mattresses, the pots and pans, having little giblets of meat from the people who have been torn apart so viciously with words. For a moment, he's lost. He's back there. Everything seems, for just one moment in this place, like home. But then her words bring him back. Oh, I don't know what I would even think that we would need. It is your home, after all.
Well, as long as you're staying with me, I need you to be comfortable.
Well, satin sheets are a good start. We already have nice, fine mattresses. Says as he looks at something for like the one, like not necessarily like one of those quality like foam toppers to put on top of the bed, so that it's like not necessarily memory foam but more quality.
Yeah.
Along those lines, it's like, now these I think you'll find will add so much more to your sleep when you find it. And you'll find even more renewed energy and vigor in the mornings.
Well, then I guess we should take advantage of the discount.
Yep. So Charles doesn't really have any other suggestions. He might point out one or two other things, but even then, it's not really much. He's letting this be the Maxine show right now because he's very much enjoying what the Maxine show is dredging up right now. This new and improved Maxine 2.0.
Sorry, you're making me laugh. It's really
I'm sorry. It's true, though. He's having a blast right now. Come on. Oh, this is better than I ever thought it could be.
It's very hard to be beguiling when you're laughing.
No.
She just gives her sweet smile that she gives. Well then, if that's all, I think we should go try and check out. And
of course. The man at the counter, of course, is smiling, and of course he's putting in his discount, and he's also mentioning that they, especially for like especially for like the phone topper, if they want, they can actually deliver all these things. You don't have to. They can deliver everything you have here. They just need the address and deliver it right to the house.
Well, that sounds absolutely delightful. And she'll write down the address, and then she'll take another piece of paper and write down her phone number, or a phone number rather. And that's for you.
Yeah, he's there's just this red around his ears, but he seems very like, oh.
And she'll kind of sashay out of there.
Charles follows after, just chuckling to himself because this is going to be so much more fun than he ever thought it would be. I do think that's well, I can't really think of anything else to do for the scene at this moment, but I think this is a very good peek into the new Maxine, at least at the very minimum, for the next month. So, yes. Thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. In the past, present, or future, we're going to see how this goes.